Hey, welcome to the Keep It Real AF podcast. I'm Amy, and I started this podcast because I missed my friends. Life in your 50s isn't always easy, and it can feel like you're doing it all on your own, but you're not. We're here to talk about the things that matter and maybe even have a laugh along the way.
My vote, we start with skincare. I cannot wait to tell you guys about this amazing new product line I just found.
Meanwhile, I'm just over here trying to figure out my next career move and how to find a man. Priorities, right?
Yep, this is what we're about, keeping it real. A little friend time makes everything better. So glad you're here. Can't wait to hang out. All right, this is our first podcast. So welcome, listeners. And I think we have to start with the obvious. Like, why do we have club music? Well, we're having fun with this podcast, and you're here to have some girl chat with us. And fun girl chat means that we're going to have a little shoulder shrugging occasionally. We want to play music that makes us happy and brings us back to the good old days, to the days when we would have some fun in the club and go out with the girls, which isn't happening. Hence the reason why we need to do a podcast to see each other.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, what did we say we're going to talk about today? I'm
New
already off
Year's
track.
Resolutions.
Yes.
Quitter's Day.
Quitter's Day?
Yes.
Quitter's
No,
Day.
that is a thing. And apparently
Is it?
it was last Friday. So listeners, we promise that you will walk away with something practical about lifestyle products, health, wellness, but we want to hear from you too. We want to understand like what do you want us to talk about? But we're going to have some fun girl talk and make sure you have some ideas to jumpstart your new year in a way that makes you feel good. And I'm sure we'll have a product or two and a few laughs along the way. Okay, so speaking of that, before we jump into whether or not we're quitters already, Emily, you've got some fun updates. So
Yes.
we want a
This
little bit of
is what
scoop
I
on
wanna
your
hear.
out of.
This is what
Yes.
I'm waiting. I'm just going to sit back and I want to hear.
Okay. So for our listeners, just to give you a little background. So I've been divorced for 9 years and I know 9 years. Can you believe it?
No.
So I've been divorced for 9 years and I've done the dating apps. I've done It's Just Lunch, everything you could possibly think of. And, relationships would
just
last
lunch.
maybe.
It's just lunch.
So it's a service that you pay for. You pay a
Yeah.
shit ton of money for,
Okay.
and they set up dates. So they get your profile and stuff and things that you have similar interests in. And then they set you up with someone that has similar interests. And
Like
you
a
go out to
matchmaker.
lunch or dinner.
Like a matchmaker? Okay.
It's like a matchmaker. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, how much money would you say you've spent between apps and matchmaking?
Oh, probably thousands of dollars.
Oh.
I know.
This is the
And-
goal of the podcast, to find Emily.
Right here.
I've been with you through this journey. And I mean,
I know.
I've heard the crazy stories. So, okay. So, but you're done
Y'all
with
have no
all,
idea.
right? You're
Y'all
done
have
with
no
all
idea. I could do a whole podcast on just stories of dating apps and what to do, what not to do, and just the craziness things. And like, that's a whole other thing. But so I've been going on this journey for 9 years. And a year and a half ago, I said, I'm done. I'm not doing dating apps anymore. I want to find someone naturally, whether it's out and about doing concerts, because I love music. I know this isn't probably the right place, at a bar, or just being out and about and social.
Yeah.
That is how I want to meet
In
someone.
the flow.
So last year, I was at a Bret Michaels concert meet and greet up in out of town. I was out of town and
Michaels.
met someone.
He's still alive?
He is.
Sorry.
He's rocking
Okay,
it, let me
we're
tell you.
taking me back. High school.
But so I met someone out of town. He's 10 years younger. And we've
Oh?
been Yes. So we've been casually dating. And things are, things are going good. We're going out of town this Saturday. But things have been very casual, like non-committal. So I want to get some answers this weekend of, where do you see this going? Because 2025 is a year for me that I really want to be in a committed, relationship. And if he's not down with that, I don't, I don't want to say it's like I'm wasting time, but you know what? Being single, like it gets lonely. And
Mm.
sometimes being in a relationship, even though it may not go anywhere, it fills a void and just comfort and intimacy, things that you just need. So, I'm willing to continue this until, Mr. Right comes along if he's not. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, I give you a ton of credit because I've been along for the ride too. And there's been a lot of ups and downs, and
Mhm.
you've kind of been unlucky.
Mm.
So what do you share like with anybody who's listening who might be, in this kind of similar phase in their life and they're having a hard time finding someone like you? Like you seem to always be upbeat and I don't know, like you've got a great attitude about it. But
Yeah.
what advice would you give to a listener who's at this stage of their life and trying to find a man?
Yeah. I would say, one, you need a really good girlfriend network to do activities and go out and do things, to put yourself out there. You can't just sit at home and swipe and wait for Mr. Right to come. Granted, apps work for some people. They just, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I would say just put yourself out there and you've got to be vulnerable to be able to meet people and go out and just do things. It's and just be positive, have a positive attitude about it. And, you know,
Yeah,
that's
I
my
love it.
that's my advice.
I
Yeah.
do have to say, like, first of all, I can't wait to hear about how the weekend goes and how you approach this, like, such an awkward phase in a relationship where you're like, yeah, we're doing things like this, but like, is it time to get serious?
Yeah.
And the one thing that I just have to ask, like, Emily's, if you're listening, just know I'm looking across the board at two beautiful women in their 50s. We'll talk about Steph's hair, that's luscious looking here in a minute, but Emily's teeth, they look like white chiclets. Is this an AI feature that I need to get?
No,
I'm
it's not.
serious. Like you look
These
like you
are
have
my
white
teeth. These are my
chiclets.
teeth. So just
Are they real
mm,
teeth?
are they what?
Are they real? I mean,
Like a
These
veneer?
are
they're
dentures.
real.
These are
Are
real
they? Yeah,
teeth.
they're
So
not
that's
veneers.
the first thing, y'all. I have a teeth fetish. That is the first thing that I look at on a person. So if they have nasty teeth with a guy, I would not.
Right.
I'm sorry, I can't because I would constantly be looking at their teeth. So no, this is, I do Crest white strips maybe twice a month. You all need to quit. You all have beautiful teeth. You all have beautiful teeth.
No, but
Mine are just
so
white,
everybody
like it
has
runs in the
access. These
family,
are
but
not normal crest white strips. What is the power level? My son told me that he got the 24 times strength. I didn't even know
really,
that existed. Like, what is it? Is it 18, 12?
I don't. So next week, I will, our next podcast, I will come with here is the exact crest strips that I use, but I don't do for like the 14 days. I will basically just do for 45 minutes and then I'll do it 2 weeks later. I don't do it like every day. It's just maybe twice a month.
Coffee drinker? Tea drinker?
I am a coffee
She's
drinker.
a
I
coffee
drink
drinker.
1 to
And
maybe
it
2 cups
doesn't
a day.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know, but I heard that can really wreak havoc on the color of your teeth, but you
It
drink
can.
coffee,
Yeah.
you don't have
I do. I do.
yeah,
And
okay,
Colgate, I love my Colgate Optic White toothpaste. I use that.
okay,
So, love Colgate,
okay.
Toothpaste.
yes.
I am a coffee, like I used to have a sign behind me that said like coffee first, everything else later. Now I'm like finding every freaking supplement I can to give me an extra boost. So we are
Oh, I
not
know
endorsed by
this.
any brand, but I am like loving this everyday dose coffee. And I know stuff. Didn't you say
Yeah.
your
Well,
son uses that?
yeah, so the story behind so I'm not a coffee drinker. I just don't. But uh, but I saw the story on the guy, the founder of that company. Did you just spill?
I did, but that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm a dribbler. I'm okay. Okay.
But he was I guess he was on ADHD meds for a long time, didn't like how it made him feel. And so he, got really into like functional mushrooms and then kind of created this product and really talks about the benefits of, of the product. So, I have a high school
Yeah.
son, and he also does not really enjoy coffee, but really, wants to keep that focus. And so he likes it. So he takes
Yeah.
it every morning.
We are total, it's got lion's mane in it. And so for anybody listening, I'm a nutritionist and I love like making sure I'm staying on the trends. The trends for 2025 is all about nootropics and nootropics hold on. Nootropics
going
in everything.
She's
everything,
nervous when she just
including
disappears like this.
So even AF,
alcohol?
like alcohol, it's alcohol. It's a non-alcoholic option. It's called Little Saints. They're a newer brand, but they have lion's mane mushroom in it too. So there's some good research.
So hold on. So
on it, but it's
So that's a non-alcoholic alcohol.
Yeah. You know how I experiment with being sober curious. I don't know if anybody can relate that's listening, but I have rooms dedicated to wine and red wine has been a thing. We have vacations and experiences around that, but it totally triggers my anxiety. And I just can't sleep. And so I've been just trying to figure out how do I enjoy that experience, that ritual of chilling out with something in my glass that doesn't wreak havoc on my sleep. And so I'm always experimenting, but so this lion's mane, back to the lion's mane, had this in Utah at a coffee shop, loved it. I literally put it in my coffee. That was a chai tea. And I just get this gentle lift without some, after my second cup of coffee, I need something that's a little less caffeinated, but I love the lift. And I did some research on it. And there is some great science that shows that it's helpful for stress. It's helpful for mental clarity, all the cognitive benefits that you're talking about, that I read up on the founder.
Yeah.
And we're experimenting with the two. And I'm not saying none of us are doctors here, but we are moms and women who are on a mission to find anything that helps us feel good and our kids feel good. So I'm actually trying the supplement version of it too. It's a lot stronger than the powder, not for me, but for my son that also has ADHD, just to experiment with a few things that might help him. So, but yeah, I throw this in my coffee for a little extra bounce in my step and a little extra clarity. And it also has collagen. So I'm loving it. I think it tastes good. I put it with almond milk, warm it up for 2 minutes and a little bit of monk fruit. And that's my afternoon chai. So
there's one of your products.
There's one of your products. So I'm all about it.
I'll try it.
Well, speaking of
this will be my
products,
resolution.
so-
My resolution is that I will try it. Does that count?
Yes. I love that. So I love it. We need to talk about resolution before we do that. Your hair looks luscious. It looks beautiful. It's so pretty. So something looks a little different.
Yeah. And I would have been so upset if you didn't notice. So you guys know my hair is my hair is so fine and so thin.
Mine too.
And I just, and the struggle, and it's just every day I have to wash it and I have to blow it out. And it's such a drag. And so my amazing trusted hairdresser, recommended just a few extensions, and I didn't want any length. I didn't want any length at all.
Can't even tell. Can't tell.
Yeah. So it's no longer, but it just gives, and it's only one. So I'm learning extension terminology now.
Okay.
But it's only one pack. Most people do, I guess, 3 packs, which I would be out to here. I would have a lion mane literally on my head. But it's just one pack and it's super subtle, but I woke up like this. I hit it with a straight iron. But
how many days have you gone without washing your hair?
But it's a game changer for me to not have to wash and blow out my hair just to feel like I'm put together for the day. So let's see. I don't know.
What day are you on, Steph? How many days have you gone? Like what day for the hair? Like how many days have you gone without washing?
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Now, granted, it looked better after she.
Wait, no, wait.
You haven't washed your hair
what?
in 2 weeks?
Wait, what was the question?
How many days have you gone without washing your hair?
Oh, I went 1 full week.
Whoa.
1 full
So
week.
don't you think we need to have a whole podcast on hair thinning?
Yes.
Like women, it's all hormonal bullshit that we're dealing with. By the way, I forgot about my PSA.
Hold on, before we go there,
Yeah.
think about this. So if I wash my hair every day, I went 1 week and I woke up and I felt great. Like I literally would wake up and be like, oh, I'm ready to go. And so I think about the time that I saved every day not washing and blowing out my hair. And it like that for me is worth every penny of extra of just whatever it costs to get the extensions. And it wasn't really outrageous.
And
So
how often
there
do you
we
need to
go.
Well, we'll see. So she, she thought probably if, with good care, I mean, I know what that means. Like I brush them, I wash them, but she thinks it's probably 3 to 4 months with good maintenance.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
mhm.
Yeah, what kind of investment is that?
So I think in total, I don't know. It was just I got my hair highlighted on top, so like the bill seemed really high. I'm guessing it was probably for 1 pack for the purchase of the extensions plus the having them put in. It was probably $300, maybe a little bit more.
Then
Yeah, that's not too
I
bad.
thought you were going to tell me
Yeah.
1,000 because
No,
I have friends that have extensions
yeah.
and they're like it's 1,500 to 2,000.
Well,
when
if they're
they-
doing many packs, I just have 1 pack. very
I
small
love that
now.
idea. I mean, luckily I'm very fortunate. I don't have a lot of thinning hair, but I know that it's an issue for women. It's menopause, ladies. And
Yes.
so it is about our hormones changing, but I think we should dedicate a whole podcast to this. Let's bring on
I agree.
our hair friends.
Yes.
And there are some nutritional things we can be doing, but anybody would want to have your hair that looks great. And I'm sure there's a lot of things we could talk about, but thanks for being so honest about that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm
those
very
love that.
I'm
Your
very
hair
proud
look
of my
great
I've
stuff.
never been proud of my hair before. So this is a first.
love
I
it.
can't stop touching it.
Yep. So
Yes.
for me, my hair is very thin, and it started after I had my daughter. I can't grow it past this because it gets really thin on the ends. And my hair, I used to freaking love my hair, but my daughter has the most amazing hair. Like
Yes.
she has amazing hair. She
does.
took my hair. So now I'm like left with this thin hair. So I should look at extensions when I get a job.
Oh, yes.
The money's
Yes.
I'm gonna look at some extensions.
And by the way, listeners, we are totally using Emily for some content. Emily is in her 50s, not only transitioning, a couple of big transitions in her life, new career. Actually, I'm kind of doing that too, but you're in a different space. So Emily's got a really important interview today. So we are going to wish her luck and hopefully this next time. But man, it's been I know the job market's a little bit challenging out there right now.
It's a tough
Very much
market.
so.
It's a
It
really,
is.
really tough market.
Hundreds
And
and
Steph,
hundreds
this is your whole
and hundreds.
career. Steph's
Yeah.
career is all in
Yeah, my career
if
is
somebody's
always
out there. If somebody's out there who is either thinking about a job change, I mean, we are again middle-aged moms, middle-aged women. Like, what advice do you have, Steph? If someone is again this new year, maybe it's a career change.
Yeah.
What advice do you have to someone? And then Emily, you can share your advice of living through it in this last 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah, it's really 2 things. One is and they're somehow related, or they are related. But the first one is you have to use your network. You have to use your network. The applying to jobs and just waiting, it doesn't work. With all the AI that is sitting on top of the job application systems today, it's filtering out the AI. The AI has a place, but it's not perfect. And so, I think we're really starting to see in the HR space that AI doesn't necessarily do the good job of filtering. But nevertheless, with thousands of applications, companies need something to filter. So how do you get around the AI when you're applying to a job? You have to reach out. You have to, and it may seem incredibly uncomfortable. It may seem incredibly pushy. It may seem obnoxious. But you have to reach out to people. Reach out to people on LinkedIn that may know somebody that works at the company that you're interviewing for. Ask them for an introduction. Direct message the person that works there. They may not respond, and who cares? But you just have to keep putting yourself out there. And this is not just jobs. I mean, I'm helping my son right now try to find an intern position. Same thing. It's a dreadful market right now. And he's super uncomfortable reaching out to people he doesn't know, asking for help. But this is how it's done.
Yeah.
You have to have an in. You have
And
to have an in.
Emily's been living this. Like you were telling
Yeah.
me a job that you interviewed. How many applications did you see submitted on LinkedIn for this one position?
1,700.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
I'm not surprised.
1,700 for this position. And
Mhm.
I'm on my third interview today. So prayers for me that, it would be an amazing, amazing job. My experience is off the chart for this position. So, but it's a grind, and really even going for positions that I know I'm overqualified for, and but it's been a grind. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, we
I would
we wish you luck
say,
too. Yeah.
yeah. And the other thing is you've got to stay relevant. And you've got, if a company's interviewing 20, which is a lot, they shouldn't interview 20, but let's say they're interviewing, it's even 6 candidates for a job. They start to all blend together. You've got to stand out, and you've got to figure out, I can't tell you how to stand out. I can't tell anybody how to stand out individually, but you have to figure out what that is. Some of the old school tactics, like sending a thank you letter after you interview, sounds corny and it sounds old school, but it matters. It does matter. Like people still like getting thank you notes, and you have to keep yourself front and center, and on top of mind in situations like that. Find something that resonates. Maybe you talked about, I mean, in my past, I happened to talk about Chihuly art with somebody I was interviewing with, and I sent a thank you card, and I found a card that had like a Chihuly art piece on the front of it, and sent a thank you card because it was just, that was the connection. So you've got to really look for those little nuggets. So
someone wanted a job to come work for me, and they did something that was memorable. Like just this past year, someone wanted to come be a coach with me, and they found out that I do endurance events. I do endurance events for 29029, and they were like, "Oh, this is so cool. This is like a really cool thing that you're doing." They were just, like asking lots of questions. But the thank you note was inside a book about a runner who, did like some ungodly number of miles, and like his story. I was like, holy, so I actually got a package. And I was like, I remember this person's name. It didn't work out, but you better believe that I'll think of him for the future. But I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And even if they didn't get the job, now you have a connection. Now you have somebody that you can reach out to. So it's just, these are really meaningful connections that may transpire into success down the road.
So one of the things that
yes,
you are going to crush it.
You're going to crush it.
And I love that you've been keeping a positive attitude. But one of the things to our listeners out there, like every week, we'll get a chance to get some updates from Emily. So whether you want to call it the Real Housewives or As the World Turns, we'll get some updates from. Yeah. Look at those chicklets. Look at those nice chiclets. I'm telling you, if you have a video today, I guarantee they're gonna be like the girl with the white teeth. That's what they're gonna call you.
Like,
Uh,
yeah, it is a video interview.
So
By the way, so is this like appropriate? This shirt, maybe button up one more, or do you think? Because I've been wearing
show
a
some more
jacket.
titties. Show some more.
No, don't.
No,
No.
no.
I mean, when you're going out, when you're with like out of town
Yes,
person, yes, all the
yeah,
way. But
course.
yeah, interview.
A little
Like,
bit more.
should she button it
but-
up, or is that like what do you
Oh,
think?
probably
Steph?
one more button.
I would do one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do
But this
one
shirt,
more.
you think it's appropriate, or I need to put a jacket on?
No, I think it's good.
Okay.
I think it's good.
It's
I
still
don't
one
think
button
you need a
optional.
jacket.
Okay.
You're
I've
it's
worn
a
Jackets the last
video
two,
interview.
so okay.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
video interview.
Yes.
You have some good
I can-
earrings in.
I
some
can
good
see a
statement
little bit of
earrings.
I can see a little peekaboo cleavage. So
Yeah,
might be,
I give it
maybe
one
that
button.
one more button.
Yeah, one more button.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to
Leave
wow
the
them with
boobs
this.
for Miami.
Needs to be my skills.
All right. So I'm trying to be the facilitator. I'm not doing a great job, but I do want to make sure we kicked it off and told our listeners we were going to talk a little bit about Quitter's Day and resolutions. And I'm in the business of change. So I have been talking a lot to my clients about how they can just have a restart, have a jump start to health and wellness. But like, let's just put it on the table. Like, do you guys even are like, one of you quit? But like, what's your take on resolutions? Are you someone who loves them, hates them, believe in them? What do you think, Ann?
I am all about resolutions. So this year for me, I lost a good amount of weight last year. So this is a year of building muscle and tightening things up. And then I love music. So I want to be able to take little weekend trips and concerts. So I want to be able to do at least maybe one a month. So that is my New Year's resolutions.
Experiences, loving
Yeah.
that. You know, that they say that I'm a huge fan of Jesse Itzler. He is just an awesome entrepreneur, but you know, he has this thing called the Big Ass Calendar Club. And I actually have it out here, but he sells these huge calendars where you plan experiences. And he has this thing called Kevin's Rule. And Kevin is his best friend. I feel lucky enough. I actually climbed with Kevin and Jesse on a mountain for 29029.
Oh, wow.
And Kevin's rule is that once every 2 months, you do something on a weekend that you normally wouldn't do. It doesn't have to be a trip or money, but instead of just settling in on a weekend, watching games or doing your normal routine, that you step out of the norm and you just plan. You put in some intention behind it and you plan some experiences. And that's kind of his formula. You put Kevin's rule into effect. You plan those experiences and you plan for one thing that is your misogi, one hard thing that you will take on for you that will help to define the year for you. And
I like
through
that.
sort of kind of some of these approaches, his whole perspective is that's how you slow down time, is by being really intentional about your experiences. So it just made me think of that when you talked about that being like a resolution. I think that's awesome. Having
Yeah.
more experiences.
Huh.
How about you, Steph? I see that little skeptical face of yours.
We-
What's your
no.
take?
I'm not a resolution person. I just I feel like I kind of know what I want to keep doing, things that make me feel good, things that don't make me feel good. And so I'll be intentional about continuing those. But I also feel like I am just at a point in my life where I have a million things on my plate with, raising a family and in my job and career. And so I'm not interested in taking on anything else. And so whether it's fear of failure or I don't have room for another calendar entry kind of thing, is where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I just intentionally don't make a resolution because it just feels a little bit daunting to me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I totally relate. And we promised that we would keep it real. I mean, I really truly this is a Fitz's friend chat. Like, I know when we started this podcast, you were like, what's wrong? Because you can tell, first of all,
Yeah.
look at my circles. But
Like I can totally relate to that. I think that resolutions are different a little bit, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But like I've had a couple days where I just feel like I suck at everything. Like I'm not good at one thing because there's so much on my plate. And like, if I'm just completely keeping it real, like that's why I wanted to start this podcast because like I'm usually alone with those thoughts, like thinking like, just like, we had an issue with one of our sons and just something happened with college and just figuring life out for him. And like, you know, after I process how mad I'm at him for doing some things, it makes me think, why didn't I prepare him better as a mom? Like, where did I go wrong? And then it's like, well, I'm too busy doing this. I'm too busy doing that. And like, you can get in your head. And I just remember reaching out to you, Steph. I mean, I reach out to Emily all the time, just, being honest about that and having a conversation, no matter how often I might come out of that and just feel like, okay, all right, I just had a bad day. Like it happens. Like I just feel like we have such high expectations of ourselves and you just kind of feel like crap sometimes, like just feeling like there's that mom guilt that like rears its head like a lot. Because all of our kids are like in such big moments in their lives where you feel like there's just bigger kids, bigger problems. And
Yeah.
like, anyway. So yeah, but back to the resolution, like I can see why you wouldn't want to put anything else on your list because if I'm keeping it real, like I can't get everything off my list. But when I think about resolutions, I just think it's the calendar change is just a great opportunity for an audit. Like it just, whether you do it now or you call it June 1st, whatever it is, but just I'm a huge believer that if I'm like growing, then if I'm able to evolve and grow, then I'm like, that helps me to be positive. It helps me to to show up better. If I'm like constantly thinking about what things should I keep doing to make myself, to help myself be a better mom, a better friend. And to me, that just mirrors just whether you call it realization, resolution, whatever it is, like I just think it marks an opportunity and it's just the calendar change. But I don't know. Okay, so I'm talking a lot. What do you guys like? I don't want to be the big time talker today. What
Resolution.
else
I'm
do you
going to
guys
try
think
the
about
mushroom
that?
coffee. That was my
Yep.
resolution.
Mhm.
I made it
Yeah.
earlier. So I feel confident
Awesome.
I can succeed on it.
And
Yay.
maybe, just maybe, like for me, like when we think about like other ways to approach the New Year's, like to not quit. I haven't quit yet, even though I feel like this year's gotten off to like kind of a slow start for the things that I'm thinking about. But when this has been such a big topic for a lot of the people that I talk to, and we've been thinking about a word or a theme that can define 2025. So rather than saying a long list, because people quit because they make these radical changes or they put these like severe restrictions on things or go to work out an hour a day when they've never worked out or like they change. The change is too big. So for God's sakes, like every day is a different day for me. So my word this year is space, just finding a little bit more space and it changes every day how I might do that. But so a little food for thought, no pun intended, to think maybe about some themes this year.
I can commit to a theme. Let me give it some thought and
Yeah.
I can commit to a theme.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm gonna think about my
Okay,
theme.
so what's up?
Mhm.
Yeah, what do you know, Emily? Like could it be experiences? I love that you're
It
already
could
thinking
be,
about that.
yeah. You know what? Experiences would be a great theme because experiences of reshaping my body, experiences of
Mhm.
music, a new job, experiences of being in a really good relationship. So I could totally see experiences. I like that theme.
Okay, let's give listeners, we promise to keep things around 30-ish
Plug
minutes
in.
because we want to,
Yes.
yes. Well, we are going to talk to you
in weeks to come about a lot of fun topics. So it might be how are we doing, like tips and ideas and how we're successfully or unsuccessfully navigating menopause. Emily's weight loss story. We'll talk about skincare, one of Steph's favorite topics.
Yes.
And how do we do with thinning hair? How are we navigating our kids leaving from college? What else might we talk about?
I have a new
Oh my
favorite
God.
pair of jeans.
Yes. You're a jean?
Dude,
Yes.
Are
Yeah.
they flare or are
Next
they
time.
skinny? Because I
No.
yes, I gotta know.
No. It's yeah, we're saving it. We'll do a whole. I'm excited. Maybe we can think about coming back with like some of our go-to. Like, what's your like maybe we'll think about like what's your holy grail. We even started skincare, but maybe that's a good
Yes.
Yeah.
good
Yes.
topic.
I like that.
Because Amy, I was thinking of you when you said your eyes were puffy. I have a good product recommendation. So
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I like
All
skincare.
right, let's sign off.
All right.
A little friend
all right,
time. A
Em,
little friend
good
time makes
luck.
everything better.
Crush it.
Yes.
Ladies,
it.
thanks. I can't wait to
Own
give you
it.
guys the update of, job, man, all that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Love it. All
All
right.
right. Make it a great week.
All right.
Love
Have a
you
good
guys.
one. See ya. Thanks for joining. Share this with your friends. We'll see you next time.